right here, right now, knowing Kathy's wholeness. I know peace for her. I know support for her. I know that she is surrounded by her loved ones. I know that she is supported by medical staff that are already assisting her. I know that everyone and everything is unfolding for her support. And in this moment, recalling Kathy and how she blesses each one of us. Reverend Diana used the word tenacious. And man, she is a power. Yes. So just surrounding her in love in this moment. And at the same time, we come together to support a wonderful cause at Goodwater today. Life is somewhat strange about presenting paradoxes of something over here that we want to say shouldn't be happening. And then something over there is saying, oh, celebrate. So we take this all in as a community, knowing all of this messiness is exactly where we're supposed to be right now. Letting the grace of Spirit flow in, through, and as each one of us. Allowing the grace of Spirit to flow and support and guide and guard Kathy and Dave. And letting Spirit support each one of us today as we just sit still for a moment and let that grace wash over us. I know that Spirit shows up as each one of us, and I'm so thankful that Spirit shows up as Reverend Diana, that the gift that she shares with the world and with us is presented today in her lesson. And that each one of us hears exactly what we need to become that best version of ourselves, that individualized expression of the one source, as only we can do. In this state of gratitude, I simply release, knowing my prayer is already unfolding. And together we anchor that by saying, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. So good to see everyone here today. Thank you all for your support in our celebration this afternoon, those who have been and are taking part. So if you're new with us here this morning online, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson, and I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We are an independent interfaith organization, and we teach universal principles and practical spirituality. So I invite you to see if there is not something that strikes your mystic heart this morning. And we'll begin our Taizé with musical prayer. Thank you, Dalton, for being here for music today.
Yay.
And for this afternoon to play with myself and Chris.
There's lyrics appearing on the board up there, just in case you're not familiar. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty. The answer to spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. Within your heart there is a doorway. The arms of love await you. With these golden wings take flight. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty. The answer to spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. Within your heart there is a doorway. The arms of love await you. With these golden wings take flight. I am the infinite presence. I am the one in all. I am the truth in beauty. The answer to spirit's call. I am the one within you. I am the one you see. await you with these golden wings. Take flight. The arms of love await you with these golden wings. Take flight.
So we bring our awareness to the inner chamber. Taking a long, slow, deep breath in and feeling the brief pause and then letting it go. Feeling the presence of new life moving into our bodies with every breath that we take. Breathing in the presence. And then sending that presence out into the world on the out-breath. Creating an atmosphere of love, peace, and wholeness, both within and without. Taking another moment to just follow the breath as it settles into its own natural flow. And now allowing the awareness to move away from the breath, grounding even more deeply into the silence. Right here and right now, feeling your oneness with the creative intelligence of the universe, and acknowledging your oneness with the global community. Sensing a web of consciousness that surrounds and infuses the planet. Each one of us, a radiant point of light in that web. See with me now every human, every creature, every plant, part of the web and radiating with God's light. Every rock and grain of sand, every drop of water infused with presence, infused with sentience. And moving awareness still further into the cosmos, recognizing the wind, the clouds, the stars, the planets, all of it as part of one light, one life. Acknowledging and feeling our connection with all of life. Our collective work here is empowered. Our collective prayer and meditation leave an imprint of peace, of love, of grace on the world for all time. By our coming together, sharing in prayer, meditation, and visioning, we are learning to see every life as a living work of art. Each of us engaged in the creative process in every moment. It is easy to imagine that there will be a point in time, sometime in the future, when our life will finally be the way we want it. A time when we will have mastered the art of living. When our life will more closely resemble a living work of art. Not now, we're not quite there yet, but then. What we have forgotten is that there is no such time here on earth, in this physical body, when our creative process will be complete. In fact, there is no time here on earth but now. Brother David Stendal-Rast says, all past and future is somehow present in the now. Only what is now actually is. What was or will be is not. Can we learn to see every moment as a point of creation? Can we somehow remember that our lives already are living works of art? By our very nature, we are creative beings, made in the image and likeness of the Creator. As Spirit expresses in the macrocosm, so do we express in the microcosm, in our own lives, and in the world. We sometimes forget that artistic creation is a messy process. I would bet that there has never been a great painting without a lot of paint spilled, brushes and clothing soiled. That there has never been a great novel without many, many crumbled pieces of paper. That there has never been a musical masterpiece created without a great number of scribbles and rewrites. That there has never been a beautiful garden without the handling of a lot of dirt and a fair amount of compost. And each of these artists has had life experiences, some beautiful and some less than, that make them who they are, that have informed their desire to create and affected the outward expression of their creation. Life is messy business. And the making of your life into a living work of art, into a thing of great beauty and inspiration, requires time, attention, intention. It requires dedication and openness and acceptance. It requires reflection and patience, perseverance, and flexibility. Where to begin? Right where you are. From right where you are in this moment, what would be required to live a more artful life? What might you have to let go of? What might you have to accept or even welcome? How might your time and energy be redirected in pursuit of a more beautiful and inspiring expression?
We tend to think of a work of art as a finished product, a completed painting, a published book, a finished composition, the Mona Lisa, Toccata and Fugue in D minor, A Midsummer Night's Dream. None of these has changed in hundreds of years. They are completed works. But what about a work in progress? Might something be a work of art even while the artist is still working on it? The opening arpeggios of the Moonlight Sonata revealed Beethoven's genius long before he composed the final bars. And might there be art forms that never reach that stage that we call completion? Jazz and improvisational theater require the artist to create in the moment, to rely on intuition to provide what is most beneficial right now. And while the song or play may be performed again under the same name, the actual performance is never the same twice. They change and alter their character with each rendition. Mother Nature is a consummate artist. Her forest cathedrals, majestic mountains, sunrises and sunsets are truly works of art. Something within us responds to her beauty with awe and reverence, and yet she is never done. Her canvas is forever changing. As her children, we create the same way she does. Our deep-seated beliefs and feelings are mirrored by our world. And like her, we are never finished. We may reach a plateau and rest for a while, acknowledging an accomplishment with satisfaction. But soon we turn our gaze to the path ahead, to our next opus. In these moments of shared silence, let us contemplate the current state of our work of art, what we've done well, where we are, and ask, what is seeking to be birthed through me right now? O divine Creator, thank you for this sacred time in communion with you and with my beloved companions on this spiritual journey. Thank you for this beautiful planet, ever changing, ever becoming, and for this gift of life. May we always remember that your infinite artistry is there to guide us from within. Centered in love, peace, beauty, and joy, we apply our holy creativity to make our world a kinder, more compassionate place. We recognize the place where we stand as hallowed ground and our siblings as saints. The realm of heaven is indeed at hand. As Reverend Diana continues her message this morning, we open our hearts and minds to even greater inspiration, and we allow ourselves to be guided into the next phase of our living work of art.
There's a quote from Howard Thurman. Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. We ask ourselves this morning, what is it that brings me alive? This is a good place to start when beginning a life of conscious creation. How can I arrange my life to make more time for what brings me alive? Another guiding question might be, what is my deepest longing? Or what am I specially gifted for? What opportunity does life actually offer me here and now to fulfill my longing and use my gifts? In her book, The Breath of the Soul, Sister Joan Chittister emphasizes the importance of prayer and meditation as tools in living an artful life, but warns that these are not enough. Only when the life I live, she says, mirrors the prayers I say, is there any real integrity to the life I am living. If we thank God for the good that comes to us, but do nothing to bring that same good to others, what is the use of the prayer? If we believe that a spiritual life is the rudder by which we steer our way through life, but show no signs of the relationship between what I pray and what I do, what is the use of it all? She says, I am not here to preen on being spiritual. I am here to develop the spiritual life that makes me a spiritual presence in the life of the world. Anything else, even prayer, is self-gratification, not spiritual growth. We are here to co-create an experience that we call human life, to give spirit the opportunity to express itself, to express its soul as our individual soul. We bring into this world a life that has never existed before. It is absolutely unique in every respect. It offers us gifts as well as challenges. But more importantly, it offers us the opportunity to reflect, to choose, to learn, and to choose again. When we use these capacities consciously and wisely, our life becomes a living work of art. Not without the messiness, but rather with all of the clutter and disorder that ultimately show up in any well-lived life. By our perseverance and willingness to get up when we fall, to begin again and again, we become an inspiration to others. By our willingness to integrate the messiness into a thing of great beauty, we become a guiding light in the world.
If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment or this place in time again. If not now, tell me when. I see sorrow and trouble in this land. Oh, I see sorrow and trouble in this land. And though it take a mighty struggle, we will change the things we can. If not now, tell me when. I may never see the promised land. Oh, I may never see the promised land. And yet we'll take the journey and we'll walk it hand in hand. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment or this place in time again. If not now, tell me when. You know we'll work it till it's done. Every daughter, every son, every soul that's ever longed for something better, something brighter. And it will take a change of heart for this to mend. It will take a change of heart for this to mend. But miracles do happen every shining now and then. If not now, tell me when. Oh, miracles do happen every shining now and then. If not now, tell me when. Oh, if not now, tell me when.
What a powerful question. If not now, tell me when. It is guaranteed that we will never see this moment or place in time again. If not now, tell me when. There's never a better time to begin than now. Now is all we really have. So right here in this moment of now, I choose to make of my life a living work of art. I know that there is really only one thing going on here. and that is God expressing and experiencing themselves as all of creation, as a perfect, intentional, and irreplaceable strand in the all that is. I set about the heartfelt practice of bringing my gifts forward, of letting my light shine as the highest possible version of who I came here to be, in service to my soul's journey and in service to the whole in every moment of now. I do what is required of me by the presence within. It's a word we often don't appreciate hearing, requirement. But there are things that are required of me and of each one of us by the presence within when we are in alignment with that presence. And so I become flexible in my thinking, graceful in my actions, gentle and kind in my words. And day by day, I'm more attuned to my inner guidance, as I know the same for each one of us listening. And I more willingly follow that guidance. I live my life with humility and from the spiritual authority granted me at birth. I'm so grateful for this life and for each one that has chosen to share this time with me this morning, for the endless showers of blessings that grace my life and all of our lives in every moment. I trust that Spirit is forever within and all around me, and that this is so for each one of us, that the blessings continue to flow as we move through every moment of now. And so right here and now I release my word in full faith in the power, knowing that it is creating, even now, a new experience in our world, a new story in which the entire human family and the world that it inhabits and serves is a living work of art. I accept it, I feel it, I know it. I let it be. And so it is.
So it is.
Amen. So coming back into awareness of our space, our beautiful community, family. Good morning, everyone. These are some of the people who care about you in your life, who are there for you when you need support. So please keep that in mind. Each Sunday that we invite you to join in the celebration of the work we're doing in the world. Some of that work you're going to get to see this afternoon if you join us for lunch at St. James at Goodwater Crossing. So if you are with us online today and you'd like to donate, you can go to mysticheart.org and find a button and a mailing address. We have a gracious giving program for those who would like to make a regular heartfelt contribution of support so that we can more effectively plan for our growth and our work. We are an individual, self-sustaining center, and so these gifts that you offer make it possible for us to be here and to do good work. So as we practice circulation this morning, Dalton's going to share another song with us, The Adventure.
You can never really know which way it's gonna go. So set your feet down on the road, facing the unknown. Staring through an open door, like you never left the shore. Walk on through, there's so much more to find. All you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure. You can carry all the weight of your past mistakes. But that's a heavy load to bear. Just pack what you can take. Standing on the precipice, you know there must be more than this. Leaning into all that is divine. 'Cause all you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are. As I weave this tapestry, thread by thread, uniquely me, slumbering within the seas, everything I'll ever need, awakening. All you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure.
Dalton, you keep getting better and better.
So we say thank you for these gifts as they are given of spirit through your hearts, your hands, and your lives. We put them to good use, we grow them, expand them, and then return them out into the greater community. And so it is. So I guess it's time for us to close the taste, this morning. I'm going to bless you on to your cup of coffee or on to your day with the soul's journey. I do hope that even if you leave at this point to do something else, that you'll consider going over to St. James at 1 o'clock to celebrate, eat tacos with us, such things. We're going to be playing some music as well. It's a gratitude ceremony for all of the people who have been part of the microshelter creation. So this community, whether you know it or not, has been a huge part of that. So thank you.
The lyrics are appearing up here once again. I'm going to sing it 2 times through. May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace. And may God always answer. A little louder now. May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace. And may God always answer your prayers. May you always embrace compassion and grace. And may God always answer your prayers. Oh, that's such beautiful voices. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here this morning. Enjoy a cup of coffee or whatever you'd like, and maybe we'll see you back at 10:30.
We're so excited for our day today at Goodwater that we're all. So I'm just centered in that joy right now, knowing that as we come together in community, in joy, in love, and just looking forward to Reverend Diana's talk today, knowing that it serves each one of us in our own unique way as we become the best version and vision of ourselves. So in this space of gratitude and love, I'm just so thankful. So thankful. Knowing our prayer is already unfolding in the mind and heart of spirit, I simply release, knowing it is already so, and together we say, so it is. Amen.
We've got 3 opening numbers for you. The lyrics will appear up on the screen there. Think fast. There we go. Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Raise your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family, with loving hearts to share. And together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer. 'Cause everything's possible now. Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Everybody, get up on your feet, feel the light, everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, feel the light, everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, 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 yeah. That's the one. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. That's how it goes. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Let me hear you sing it now. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. One more time now. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. I said it always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Watch out. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Let's keep that energy going. Move into visioning together, joining in the vision of a love-soaked world. And the power of vision is when we see with the inner eye and when we feel and we know that this vision is already so in the mind of the universe, in the mind of spirit. And we are simply active in moving toward bringing it to earth now. So feel and know with me a world in which all human beings are living from their highest potential, their deepest wisdom, the most generous and loving nature. It's easy for us to envision that here because that is how we live. Thoughtful of the impact of our thoughts and our words and our actions, and recognizing that they do have an impact. Remembering that every thought, word, and action leaves an imprint. This is a world where all needs are met gracefully and easily because humanity is living from its generous nature. Where all beings have plenty of nourishing food, warm, comfortable, and affordable housing, safety and belonging. A world in which mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are all supported by social systems that are grounded in wholeness and wellness, grounded in integrity and honesty. In this world of our creation, all beings work and play at what feeds their souls and are well compensated for their service. All are valued and respected for their inherent goodness. This is a world where authenticity and vulnerability are not only welcomed, but they are celebrated. Where the peace we cultivate within ourselves shows up as a world free of hatred, violence, or indifference. Feel and know with me now a world without greed, where generosity is the norm, where every being receives all that is required for a fulfilled and contented life. By the power of our collective intention, our powerful imagining, and inspired action, we are writing a new story. We're creating a world that works for all beings, We make no mind of appearances in the world, knowing that transformation is underway right here and now. Whatever it may look like, we know that all is always turned to good. So we walk in gratitude and respect and reverence and humility, acknowledging the sacred in everyone and in everything, planting seeds of peace. Through our hands and feet and hearts and voices, positive change is happening as we align our actions with our vision. Living these changes in our own lives with our families, our friends, our neighbors, our communities. This community stands as an open and welcoming place for all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. This community redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, and love. We are guided to the truth that lies within every heart. By the creative power of our deep knowing and our clear vision, by the power of our inspired action, this prayer is acted upon even as it is spoken. In full acceptance of its reality and with the deepest gratitude, we release our word to the one that gets it done. And so it is. Amen. So good to have you here this morning. Thank you for being here. I guess I didn't do an introduction for online. So if you're joining us for the first time online today, my name's Reverend Diana Johnson. I'm the pastor and spiritual director here at Mystic Heart. And we're an independent interfaith community. We teach universal principles and practical spirituality. So I trust that you will find something that lifts you up and moves you forward today. We have been looking at making our lives a living work of art today in Taizé. Doesn't that sound good? To have your life be a living work of art. Let's have a conscious conversation about that, because I asked a lot of questions for reflection. Now maybe we can talk about some of that. So for those who weren't there, we reflected the idea that by our nature we are creative beings. We are made in the image and likeness of the all-creative power, whatever you might call that. And we acknowledge that creating art is a messy process. It's messy. Life is messy. As we spent time in contemplation of some questions, some of these were, what would living a more artful life require of you? We noted that word requirement sometimes feels constricting, like we don't want to have requirements placed on us. But that living an artful life does place requirements on us. So, only we know what those are. That doesn't come from outside of us. Other questions we contemplated: what might you have to let go of? What might you have to accept or even welcome? How might your time and energy be redirected in pursuit of a more beautiful and inspiring expression in your life? And then we closed with a quote from Sister Joan Chittister that's going to lead us directly into the conversation. And I'm going to repeat the quote. It's a little bit of a pokey quote. Sister Joan Chittister is a little bit of a pokey nun. She's talk about a force to be reckoned with. She's out there doing all kinds of work in the world. She says, only the life I live mirrors the prayers I say. Okay, I skipped a word. Only if the life I live mirrors the prayers that I say, is there any real integrity to the life I'm living? If we thank God for the good that comes to us, but do nothing to bring that same good to others, what is the use of the prayer? If we believe that a spiritual life is the rudder by which we steer our way through life, but show no signs of the relationship between what I pray and what I do, what is the use of it all? I am not here to preen on being spiritual, she says. I am here to develop the spiritual life that makes me a spiritual presence in the life of the world. Anything else, even prayer, is self-gratification, not spiritual growth. I love this woman. She's so between the eyes. I love teachers like that. They really make me back up and look at myself, which I really appreciate. So this topic can feel a little bit pokey, and that's good. We can get a little bit defensive when we hear words like these. At least I'll speak for me. I can. Again, this is not the part where Sister Joan comforts the afflicted. This is the part where she afflicts the comfortable. And she does a lot of both. She does a lot of both. It's really easy to get comfortable, isn't it? It is for me. So what are some of the reasons we have for not reaching out in service to the world? And granted, many of us do reach out in many ways to many people. This is not to say we're not. But I'll speak for myself. When I refrain from reaching out in service to the world, there are reasons. So what are some of the reasons we might not reach out? David?
Fear.
Fear. Fear of what?
Fear of the unknown and how it's going to unfold.
Fear of the unknown, of how will it look, how will it unfold.
Fear of judgment and rejection.
Fear of judgment and rejection.
Fear of commitment.
Fear of commitment.
Yeah.
Why would we fear commitment?
Somebody might ask us to do something we don't want to do.
Oh, we might be asked to do something we don't want to do. Oh, man. Chris?
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure.
Try something and it won't help or make things worse.
Okay, so what if we try and it doesn't work? Or what if I make things worse?
What about sometimes just, I'm too busy?
I'm too busy. That's a really easy one to fall into. Because we all have busy lives, right?
Those are all excuses, though.
Thank you!
That's just big
I didn't have to be the one to say it this time. The words of the wise right there.
What were those words?
Huh? Those are all excuses, she said.
Didn't hear what she
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, she said those are all excuses.
Just big excuses.
So I did have some other, I don't have anything to offer, playing small.
Yeah,
My
right.
gifts-
Like, I'm not good enough for
Right,
this.
I'm not good enough.
Right.
I'm not sure what's mine to do, so I'm gonna wait.
No, I was just saying that one really rings for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm called to do yet.
Mm-hmm. And we can go through our entire lives with that one.
Yep.
We can say, I just don't know what's mine. And, so I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough energy.
Right.
I'm totally there with Allie. That was masterful.
Those are just excuses.
And not feeling good enough. I think there's like a whole surface thing happening,
Mm-hmm.
but underneath I'm thinking about our fear, and we might not even be putting this into words, but what am I gonna discover about myself of like messing around in that deep junk?
Right.
You know?
What am I gonna
shadow.
find
Yeah.
out about myself? Messing around in that deep junk. Let me tell you that this experience with Goodwater Crossing has done work on me that I didn't even know was there. I had no idea what kind of an impact it was going to have on me to walk into that place and to begin interacting with the unhoused people in our community. I'm so grateful that Spirit moved me and that I said yes, because I am a different person. I am a different person, and I'm so much better for it. But it can be scary. When I go messing around in there, man, what am I going to find? Mark? And
I'll
then
make a statement. We were talking about enough. Maybe I'm not enough. Well, my concern is that my efforts, as great as as best as I can do, still would not be enough for the recipient. Now, I've had some experience with giving of myself to recipients that are very needy, and in many cases, I can't do enough for them. And that's held me back when it comes to homelessness. I've always thought, well, you know, I can't give them a home, so that's what they really need. Well, maybe that's subjective, maybe not all of them want a home. But in the case of what you're doing, essentially you've found them or provided them with a home in this effort.
I personally didn't do this.
Over there
but,
at Lutheran.
But I have responded to be a support and a help to those who had this process.
And I'm speaking
started.
as you, as all of the volunteers.
Yes.
Collectively. And so the comparison, there's never enough. You can give a quarter to somebody on a street corner and you can't think you've really helped them that much, but in what you've done, what I mean is your organization, what do you want me to call it? I don't know.
It's called Good Water Crossing.
Okay, Good Water Crossing as a concern, is it a thing? Is it just a name? What is Good Water Crossing?
It is a micro shelter that interviews unhoused people, and 5 at a time gives them a structure, which if you go to lunch with us at 1 today, I would really love it for everyone to see what they're doing. They're doing a beautiful job. But it gives, and you might say, you know, it's not enough. What we're doing is not enough. But I would bet you that the woman, Sherry, that you'll hear speaking today, which is their first resident who's moved into permanent housing, would say, it was enough for me. And Nick, who won't be there today, but the next one scheduled 2 to 3 months out to go into permanent housing, he would say, thank God y'all did something. So yeah, 2 people out of the thousands.
So you get my point that now it is enough.
Yes, and the thing about enough is, if it's something we're called to do, and we can only give a quarter, that is enough. So to walk around feeling like we are not enough, and use that as our reason to do nothing, I don't know about that.
I lost it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yes.
I think what Good Water Crossing and other micro shelters that are popping up and around is recognizing no one person can solve any one person's problem, but in the collective,
Yes.
where we bring our time, our talent, and our treasure with a willingness to do that, you are enough. You don't have, you're enough in the fact that you're enough in the collective.
Right.
You're the piece of it. And while you cannot get every single person, that doesn't matter. You're involving the people that are in your sphere of influence is what we're called to do. We don't have to save the world, we just need to save and work with each other in our best ways possible.
Yeah. I heard it stated, you know, just deal with your own real estate, with what's right before you. That's it. David?
Well, it always brings back the story of the man
talking to the young girl, and he telling her that the starfish that have all washed up, she can't possibly make a difference. And then she picks one up
Yeah.
and tosses it back into the ocean and goes, well, I made a difference for that one.
That's right.
You know.
That's
One
And
by
that's enough.
one by one.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we played a song for offertory that was, I can't change the world, but I can change it for one.
That's
Right,
And
Yeah.
it's one heart at a time. That's all we can do.
it is. So I'm Mark?
I wanted to comment on what Chris said. She brought up that even if it's just a quarter, it is enough. So the focus on what's enough is in my giving. If I
Right.
can feel that I've given enough, even if it's just a quarter,
Right,
then that's really where it's, because that's coming from the heart, I guess you could
Yes.
say. And that's my challenge.
Yeah.
In the past, I'd given money to people and you give them $1 and I felt I should have given them $5. And you see that reasoning that I'm not enough. So there's no
Right.
way I can give enough money to
right,
anyone.
yeah,
But if I give it in a spirit of, hey, I've done enough for me, and it's not about me, it's about both of us. And if that isn't enough for you, I hate to be crass, but that's your problem.
and you can even take it out of the monetary realm. People on the streets so often don't even have someone willing to look in their eyes.
Yeah.
So to give a sincere look, to say, good morning, you know, how are you, like really, how are you doing today? Is something they don't get. Chris and then Kimberly.
When I went to the dinner in May, early May, I think it was, Diana brought food and we were invited to go participate in that event where we were having a meal with these folks that lived at the micro shelter. I had the opportunity a few days or a week later, someone asked me, how did it go? And I said, and she said also that you might be surprised to know that they were appreciative of the food, not to say they weren't, but what was more important to them was being seen as people, having conversation, breaking bread together, and not being looked down upon.
Right. Such a new experience for people that have been on the streets for some of them decades. The woman who just moved into her first apartment, her first ever apartment at 62 years of age. So,
My daughter, Lizzie, she was on the street for 4 years in Reading, and I helped her as much as possible. I couldn't have her live with me because that's the rules in my apartment. But I would take her to lunch, she would eat her lunch and she'd have a sandwich, and we'd go outside and she'd see somebody on the street and she'd give that person her lunch. I go, Lizzie, you don't even know where you're gonna eat next. She goes, he needed it more than I did, I already ate. And I was so proud of her that she saw past herself even though she was on the street herself.
there's more generosity on the street than you ever find in housed people. Doesn't seem like it would be that way, but it's true.
I was really proud of her.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that we would say that, but really, they are living that life and they know how precious these things are.
Right.
And so, if they had enough, they're not hoarding,
Right.
they're sharing
They're sharing.
instead of hoarding.
Yeah. So I'm so happy that Ally did the poking for me, because it says right here, prepare to be poked. And I'm including myself in this. Can these sometimes be excuses that we use for avoiding or taking responsibility for our societal concerns and conditions in the world? It's become really popular and accepted to put self-care first as a reason for not going out beyond ourselves. or to use not having it together enough or not having enough time, whatever. But I have to wonder, will I ever have it completely together? Yes.
I think that also a sense of overwhelm might be an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
There was so
Yeah.
much that needs to be done, I don't know
Right.
where to.
Yeah. Yeah. So won't I always be able to give myself just a little more self-care first? Won't I be able to do that always? Will I ever have more time than I have right now? 24 hours in a day. Isn't it really more about moderation and balance? What about motivation? I mean, there's all these things playing into it. And I don't want you to get confused about what I'm saying. I'm not saying we shouldn't put ourselves first and take care of ourselves. Of course we should. That's my job, to take care of me. Nobody else's responsibility, and I'm still learning the importance of that. But can there be a fine line between self-care, self-expression, and narcissism?
Yes.
Very fine line. And it's one to keep an eye on. It's real easy to call many things self-care and then to just push everything else aside. And it's definitely true, if we don't have our personal stuff together, we might do more harm than good, right, in trying to help other people. But again, isn't there a point at which we have it together enough to not be dangerous to other people? Do no harm. You know, at what point do we have the responsibility of trying to make the world a better place in some way? And this one way that we're looking at today might not be your calling or your way, but in some way, in the way that is yours. So I want to share an audio clip. It's about 6 minutes long, from Tammy Simon's Insights at the Edge. It's a great podcast, where she's interviewing Rainn Wilson, who's just written he had at the time just written a new book called Soul Boom. We did it in our book club a while back. And so, you know, if you want to grab a notepad or whatever for discussion, but we will have some discussion about it right afterwards.
Is that when I first started Sound True back in 1985, so almost 40 years ago, I was looking at the mystical dimension of the great world religions. Now, you know, people aren't even interested in general in the mystical dimension. They're interested in evidence-based, mindfulness, science-based. Like, we don't need religion anymore. We don't need it. Let's just be spiritual, but not religious. And you make this very interesting case that there is a potential pitfall in being spiritual but not religious, which is this fall into individualism. And this hit me directly, because I see this in myself, I see this in the Sounds True community, this fall into sort of like me and my individual, I'm going to be peaceful, I'm going to manage my nervous system, and we're missing this collective transformation piece. And yet there's this like, really? Do I want to be part of a group? Like a faith tradition? Really? I don't think I can do that. I don't want to be part of a group. I want a community, I don't want to be part of a group. So, okay, there's a lot of different ways of asking you, what do you see as the evolution of religion in our time?
Oh, you're the best. I love you. How's that? I love you and I love what you do, and I love.
I feel that, man, I feel that.
Yeah. So probing and honest. Listen, I want to give a shout out to the people that have a problem with organized religion. I get it. Organized religions have been the cause of some of the greatest injustice in human history. Not to mention all the judgment, the whole idea of hell, like non-believers are going to burn in hell for eternity, and sinners, and all the judgment of people that are different, whether it's, gender or sexual orientation or all kinds of differences that religions can ostracize people. And I get that, and I honor people who bump up against all that, and that it's crucial to do. That being said, I think that one of the problems with kind of what I would call New Age, and I wouldn't say that what you do is New Age, but is that this smorgasbord spirituality of like, oh, I like this incense, and I like this yoga class, and I like this Eckhart Tolle book, and I like this crystal, and I like this essential oil, and this makes me feel spiritual. It connects me, and it brings me peace and serenity. The problem with that is that it is limited and can frequently lead to narcissism. There is nothing wrong with loving a crystal, an incense, an Eckhart Tolle. I love Eckhart Tolle, I love yoga, I love incense, I love crystals, I like all of it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But if you stop there, you're being selfish. If you stop there, you're being narcissistic and you're being a consumer. Because a consumer wants to quell their anxiety. So we get our Rumi quote from Instagram, and we do our meditation app, and then, oh, I feel better, and I'm done, right? So that's a selfish kind of Western attitude. Thich Nhat Hanh is the leader in this. Thich Nhat Hanh is our guide, who absolutely, it's about being in the moment, absolutely having your meditation practice and your devotion. And you do that so that you can serve others. You do that so that you can build community. You do that so you can go out in the world and bring that peace and harmony you found inside and share it with others. If you're simply using spirituality to calm yourself, then you're using spirituality the same as you use a Xanax. So that's what I have struggled with.
Wow.
So that's part one. Part two is religion. We have lost something by losing religion. First of all, we can look at hard data. People who are members of religious faiths are happier. They just are. They're more well balanced. They have greater resilience. They live longer. Their marriages last longer. The list goes on and on. Now, we shouldn't just be dismissive that, they're dumb, born-again idiots meandering about, but there's something to be learned from that. What does religion give you? What does gathering together with a group of people who have a shared belief system and a shared sense of focus and purpose, what does it give you? Transcendence. It gives a commonality, a shared love, the idea that there is something more than this physical realm and we're all in this together. We can gather together, we sing together, we create art together, we serve together. We're rolling up our sleeves and doing work on the ground to try and make the world a better place. Now, I understand that's not all religion. Some religion is just a fire and brimstone, preacher, and you go to church for 2 hours on a Sunday and you say, I believe, and that's the extent of it. That's not what I'm talking about, but that's not true religion. Remember, the origin of the word religion is religio, which is the Latin to bind together. It should bind people together. Abdul-Baha, the son of the founder of the Baha'i faith, said that if religion be a cause of disunity, it were better that there were no religion. That's pretty profound for a founder of a faith to say, hey, if religion causes disunity, then get rid of it. We shouldn't have religion.
Okay, what's on your mind?
Wow, that was a lot to think over. Well, this is my church, and I feel wonderful when I come. When
Okay.
I'm not here, I miss everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't consider us a religion, but we gather here. I mean, the name of the gathering place is perfect.
Do we don't all share the same beliefs, but do we have some common threads of belief, no matter what our personal preferences are?
Yes.
We do. We share those common things. Do we share some common practices?
Yes.
Do most of us have some form of meditation that we do, whatever form it is?
Yes.
Do most of us believe that there's something bigger going on here than we can understand? Call it a mystery, call it a universe, call it a force, call it God, whatever. Yes.
I want to say that I do agree with what he said. If religion causes disunity, then we shouldn't have it.
That's
I
right.
do agree.
Yes, I thank you. I agree with that too. And him pointing out that, you know, he didn't really go the full way to point out that we mistake the word religion for dogma or doctrine. That religion doesn't necessarily have to have dogma attached to it. Religion and that which binds us together, that which binds us to something greater. It doesn't require doctrine and dogma.
Building on what, Aquatic?
Aquarius?
Oh, now we're doing Caleb? Okay.
Caleb, okay.
Thank you. Either way, I think that is a disservice when religion breeds and encourages division.
Yes.
I see this place as a church
Mhm.
because it's not promoting that division. It's promoting building on what we believe together
Right.
and how each one is allowed their own personal preference of what to call this thing,
Mhm.
how to worship this thing, and how to be. So I would call this place a religion, or a religious community. Let me put it that way, a religious community.
Mhm.
Because it's about self-growth, self-reflection, self-understanding, and taking all of that and moving it into the world. And I believe that's what religion and religious communities would really benefit our globe.
Yes. There was actually, maybe I'll share it if I can find it again sometime. There was a podcast I listened to that talked about, no, it was a TED Talk. Person was saying, you know, in the name of religion, look at all of the war, look at all of the horror, look at all of the things that have unfolded throughout history. And then he flipped it on its back and he said, but let's look at the other side. If we were to remove all religion, like right now, from the planet, do you know how many organizations that serve the community would vanish? That there are more organizations that feed the homeless, that help house people, that orphanages, that service, hospitals and schools. How many of those are built and sustained by religious groups? And if all at once, all of those were removed from the planet, our society would actually crumble because there are so many. So we have to be careful of, yes, we need to look at the negative aspects and we need to not engage in those or promote those, but also to admit that it's not all bad and that there's much good that comes as well. So it's for us to discern individually, you know, what's right for us and what serves us. But I love the idea of redefining church, that this community is redefining what church is and what it's about. Let me get Caleb and then you can see that.
I do agree about what you just said, that stuff isn't automatically a bad thing.
Right,
It's just the little pieces of it.
yeah, yeah.
So, but some good some good could still come from it.
That's right. It's important in any area of life that we don't throw out babies with bathwater,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Just automatically label it all bad and toss it out the window.
Well, I remember not that long ago being totally shocked that any new thought, belief system, religion, whatever, could be dogmatic. But I think that that's something that we all need to guard against, is this church is fluid,
Yes.
but we need to keep it that way, and we need to keep track of our thoughts and make sure that we're not becoming
Right.
dogmatic within ourselves, because that is a
Right.
possibility.
Yeah. I have met fundamentalist CSLers, I've met fundamentalist unities, people, you know, where that is the only way. And like, wait a minute, that's the point, is that there isn't one only way. We're all unique. Mark?
I'm looking at it, at this place, rather like what it's like when you're combing your hair. There are tangles, and 95% of our understanding, our brain, is subconscious. Those are composed with beliefs and stuff we learned when we were very young. Coming here, time after time, is like untangling those strands of hair, or even cutting them out if you need to, because it's causing me pain. And that's why this conversation format is so good, because we all have our individual understandings, and here's a place to put them into words and to challenge yourself as to, yeah, I've got resistance there, maybe I can get over it. Using these sets of beliefs and then gradually reaffirming what those are, you change your subconscious domination of these negative and fearful thoughts to much more useful ones.
Thank you. It's a place for detangling, I like that. Go ahead.
I'm reflecting on how, even in our coming together, sometimes that we can get narcissistic in the way that we're like, oh, I like this thing that's happening here. I like that part.
Right.
Oh, but this thing over here, I don't like that part. That needs to change in order for me to keep engaged with the whole.
Right.
And I'm guilty of that. Wanting something a certain way of how I experience the service, or how I experience being part of Mystic Heart. And it's me, you know, this is all about me, of course. You know?
Of course.
Yeah. And then, you know, remembering, coming back around, and you know, accepting, surrendering, like really leaning on the true spiritual principles that that are what's binding us together, and letting go of like how I think something should look.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that, because from my vantage point, I see that in every direction. I can tell you, not that I will, but I can tell you, you know, this person likes this part but really doesn't like that part, and that's why they're not here very often anymore. And this person has shared that, you know, well, this is good, just the opposite of the other person, by the way. They like this part and they don't like that part, and they wish I wouldn't talk about this and that so much, but wouldn't I talk about this more? How many people am I dealing with? So all I can do is listen internally to what Spirit guides me to bring forth as the highest for the whole, and trust that that's what's supposed to be happening. And sometimes that means some people leave and some people come, and some people go away for a while and then they come back. And it's all fluid, as you said, and allowing it to be fluid and not freaking out when somebody gets upset and does whatever they do, because that isn't really mine. You know, I listen, of course, but with the ear of, is this mine or is this not mine?
That's where I come to as far as that trusting Spirit.
Right.
But also trusting you as my spiritual mentor and guide, that I know that she's spending a lot of time with Spirit. I can trust that it's unfolding as it should.
Right.
And let it go. And stop being my, like, ego selfish self.
Let go of some of my preferences.
Yes, which I have a lot, so.
Don't we all? Caleb and then Chris.
So, I want to say that I do agree with what Mark said earlier about that this church is basically like a hairbrush that, or a kit of hairdressing tools to help fix the tangles in your hair.
But instead, we help fix the tangles in your head
Yeah,
and your heart.
Yeah.
And in your
but
stomach.
but all I'm trying to say is that I do agree with what he had said.
Uh-huh. Thank you. I love that image, actually. I like it too. There was Chris and then Kimberly.
I'm smiling about the detangling thing because, you know what really helps with detangling is conditioner. And I think what we're here is to get some conditioning so that we can run the comb through the hair. And I'm sure you can appreciate that.
And the detangling comb itself.
Right.
There you go. There you go. You gotta use your own comb, but you can get some conditioner.
That's right. That's what we're here to do.
And I think that's one of the benefits of community and participating in a service of this nature. But we give the ego a bad rap, and I think what the part of our ego that we really need to have it take a back seat is that our preferences, yes, are our preferences. And sometimes we're going to get our preferences answered or matched, and sometimes we're not. And can we still be okay? Do we need to cherry pick?
Right. Because I guarantee that if we do cherry pick that way, we're never going to find a community anywhere
That's right.
that meets every one of our preferences and only our preferences. That it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if it's a spiritual organization or any other. If we're that fussy, we're going to find ourselves alone. Kimberly and then Amanda.
When I come here, I get filled every time I come, and when you say things, I always go, oh, yeah, I forgot that. Or, oh, thank you for the reminder, because I wasn't raised that way, so it's all new, and
Right.
Sometimes my ego tries to go back and scrape everything back into my life, and I'm so glad that I can just go, that doesn't work for me anymore, and go forward and be blessed that I have a new choice.
Right. Always have a new choice in every moment. Amanda?
I guess I was just thinking about how we can really be so like fed and nourished by community, and I feel a lot of nourishment that I get from this community. But I also think that we sometimes can differentiate between, let's say, just preferences versus, sitting with ourselves or with Spirit and saying, okay, I feel a tug in this direction. It also doesn't mean that we have to leave our community.
Right.
We're welcome to, I think, explore other things and love and cherish all the people here,
Right.
at the same time.
Yeah. It's not an either or kind of a world. And that's one of the things about this community, I think, that makes it unique, is that I have never put out there that, only here, only do this. I mean, that's just not a thing here. Of course, I love when there are people that do, find home here, because every community needs a certain number of those people. But finding a home here doesn't mean you're doing nothing else. certainly doesn't mean you're not going internally. I hope that doesn't mean that, because that's the first thing that we need to be doing, is going internally and looking for our own guidance. So, but seeking guidance in other places, seeking friendships and community, you know, it's, the more you have, the stronger the whole thing gets. Lucinda?
I was thinking back to the whole thing about the ego, and one of the ego's main reasons for living is to protect us. And that's part of our job here, is to step beyond the boundaries, to feel the fear and go ahead and do it anyway, to allow ourselves to grow to a point where our ego feels more safe in expanding.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna take one more, and then because of our commitment this afternoon and the food and moving and all of that, I'm gonna wrap us up in just a moment here.
Lucinda just brought up the word process. It is a process. For me, it's about connecting the mind and the heart. And as we've learned in wellness class, even the gut.
In the gut. It's all
Connecting all of those.
Yeah.
And I feel more healthy as those connections in process are being made. I believe our energy goes as we want it to by these contemplations. And when they ring of truth, it's like those nerves connect.
Thank you. So, is there anything else? I know you might even be taking some things with you to contemplate. I hope you will this week. Is there anything else that needs to be spoken right now before we end in prayer?
Everybody kept telling me I needed that your ego eases God out, but God can't be eased out. And our ego's important.
Right.
You can tell it to be quiet. I'm in charge, my spirit's in charge, but you don't want to get rid of your ego because it really does help you
Right.
in your life.
Part of you.
Right.
Yeah. Beneficial part of you. In control. Yeah.
I like to connect to what Kimberly had said, that it's fine to that it's good to have your ego and to help, and unless you want to die.
Right. Yeah, it's your self-protective mechanism, right? It's there for a purpose. Just got to keep it in check, that's all. So isn't it great to have a place to just share? To take in what's here and to offer what we have to offer, and to take with us things to contemplate. So I'm going to close in prayer. Speaking my word for myself, but knowing it as true for each one listening, because there is only one life unfolding. That is the life of the one source, by whatever name we call it, the life of the great mystery. And that great mystery is expressing and experiencing themselves as everything. Everything is a pretty big word. As all that is. And so in knowing that, I have to trust then that I am part of the all that is, and that my life here is a perfect and intentional expression of the one. I'm here exactly as I am on purpose, with all of the gifts and attributes that have been given me, just as each one of us is here with our own unique set of qualities. And that each one of us is enough, exactly the way we are, and exactly the way that we're not. Wouldn't it be dull if we were all exactly the same? It would be so boring. So each of us is already creating a living work of art. by the living of our lives. Each of us acknowledges the act of creation that is always at work. We're always engaging in creation. And so today we commit to bringing more and more conscious awareness to the process of creation. As one creative expression of spirit, I engage daily with my source in prayer and meditation and study and service, celebration. What a great spiritual practice is celebration. I know that the purpose for my growth and for my life is to share my gifts. That's why I'm here. And this makes the world a more beautiful place when each one of us shares who we are with the world. Sharing of myself is what brings meaning and purpose to my life. So I'm grateful to have people with like hearts and minds, even as we share different ideas about how things work. I give thanks for each one that's here and that's listening. And I know that our collective practice is bearing fruit in our communities, in our families, and in our world. In this sacred moment, from a place of deep gratitude and deep faith, I release my word, trusting that it's already begun moving the story forward. And so I just let it be what it is. I let it move as it does. I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Well, I am going to condense, because I'm where I was planning to be done. So I'm going to invite us today to share in the celebration of the work that we're doing, should you choose to do that by offering your financial support to our community. If you're with us online, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button or a mailing address. And as we share in circulation today, Dalton, would you share some music with us, please?
This is a call and response. So,
Yeah.
some of it's in Sanskrit, but don't worry about that.
One that moved to. I'm gonna find your space. Yeah.
Om Namo Bhagavate.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate. Vasudevaya. 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 Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Vasudevaya, 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 Vasudevaya. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Vasudevaya, Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate, Vasudevaya, 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 Vasudevaya. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Sing with me now. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. Because the one I love lives inside of you, I lean as close to you as I can. I lean as close to you as I can. I lean as close to you as I can. I lean as close to you as I can.
Whoa, that was awesome.
I even got pretty good
We
at
rocked that one.
saying those,
Oh, so thankful in this moment that we can come together like this, that we have the time and treasure and talent to support one another. Knowing that as your gifts come in to our community of Mystic Heart, that they support our community and our community of the greater Reading and the state and the country, and who knows how far they go. And we know they also come back through the law of circulation, and they grow. So in this moment, I simply say thank you. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. And then just below that, we'll make sure you're on our list. And please stand for our closing song, Love Be With You.
The credenza in the foyer, aka the thing over there.
Yeah, that thing. That table in the corner.
All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand. We are changing. I hope that life be with me. Take your past and set it free. Share this blessing. Love be with you. Peace enfold you. Spirit lift you. Breathe it in. Truth come to you. Make good flow to you. Let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you. Ooh, 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 love be with you. Love be with you. Love be with you. Love be with you. Woo!
Thank you for being here this morning, and we hope to see you at 1 o'clock for a taco bar. Some of you are helping to transport things and all of that. Thank you so much for your